Hello! My name is Mimi. I live in Berlin and I host from my crazy old jiggly-piggledy flat in Berlin-Wedding. I have 3 kids and we do a lot of family adventuring and I do a lot of knitting. So this is a mainly knitting podcast. Also making, sewing, crochet. I dabble in all of this. Family knitting is sort of my thing. Community growing, another. My social media name is Liebwed, which is Liebwedd, which is an abbreviation on Liebeswedding, which is my hood, my local area in Berlin. And it's like saying dear wedding. It was sort of originally going to be much more based around my hood and poetry, street art. Well, I guess I still do a little bit of that, but it is my favorite place in the world, so I feel quite a lot at home with that name still. Yarnchix Podcast is also a Ravelry group, and you can find me, all the projects, different threads, different knit-alongs, and there is a place where you can introduce yourself, why you've joined me there, and just come and check it out. I have a whole lot of stuff. This is the first January episode. I think there will be 2, as I podcast about every 14 days. Here. I hope I can keep my word. Last year I was super busy, so I took a photograph of a chair with all the different makes I've made, and all I can do is actually edit a finished object, a little medley. So you will see this photograph and all the little bits of finished things, because I think it's good to recap, and I'm proud and I can edit something like that, so I might as well. New event every month. We meet twice, once in the morning and once in the evening for knitting. You can find all these new invites, old posts with the handle Liebeswedding strickt. I'm gonna add it in here, so please go and check it out, especially if you're local. I'm really interested in engaging more and more people into knitting. And there are a couple of events coming up, which you will definitely find out through that hashtag. Or if you follow me on Instagram, on Ravelry, in our Ravelry group named Yarnchix Podcast, there is a thread all to do with Liebeswedding strickt, and I always ensure to make an event. So there is always an event connected to that Ravelry group, which is either upcoming or we've just had a meeting last week, so that is currently noted in there. I try and update some photographs to that. I just love it. It's a real life meetup, and what is better than knitting with friends? I know in this way we get to knit together a little bit, but when it jumps into the real life, a real next to one another, that is superbe, my favorite way of knitting. Today I have several things. I have my finished objects, I have a lot of knit-alongs and some acquisitions. So I'm gonna go straight in with what I am wearing. I am wearing the Siri cardigan. I am a really proud knitter for completing this one. It has been a bit of a challenge for me with these textured stitches, and to be honest, I did sometimes put it to the side for too long, therefore forgot what I was doing and had to work out the whole system of this amazing pattern again and again. Finally, I finished. I added this amazing ribbon on the inside. It is from Loop London and I bought that. Look at that textured stitch. Siri is just amazing. This is a cardigan designed by Laine, and these textured stitches basically look a bit like a star. And look, I found these vintage buttons. Whoop! Let me move the table. They're like a floral design. I love them together with this button band. It's a complete, utter success. I am so pleased. And there is a Siri cardigan knit club. I am sure to join again with a Siri cardigan knit as a jumper in black. Again, Hey Mama Wolf yarns. This is Hey Mama Wolf yarns Reseda colorway. It was one of her first dye-lots, I think. So a bit of a vintage Yule Hey Mama Wolf. I have black yarn for the second project. And there will be feedback, talk about it in the Ravelry group, Siri Cardigan Clubhouse, I think it's called. Check it out if you are ever interested in knitting it as a sweater, if you're interested in the steeking technique I used. There will be a lot of information, and is quite a lot of information in that group. I am, however, having a break of that because I have too many other things that I want to knit and on my needles and everything, which you will see in this episode of my podcast. So, because I didn't only finish this, I also finished something. It's inside out. Amazing, look at that yoke inside out. It's amazing, even inside out. I'm gonna turn it around so that you can recognize what I'm showing. This is my Treysta sweater. I finally finished. I knit this along with friends, sort of behind the scenes, and I am in love with it. This has been awkward. I knitted it quite tight fitting. It works fine with shirts like the one that I'm wearing, but obviously it's meant to be a bit of a looser Lopi pattern. I don't know. I think it was because I reduced the needle size by 0.25, that way around. So I knit it mainly on 3.75, but I am in utter love with this color combination. I'm gonna try and lean in. Look at that golden with this turquoisey green. It's so good, and I'm absolutely smitten with Lopi. The Treysta sweater is a design by Jen Steingass, who is Knit Love Wool on Instagram, and it was published in the, looking around because I don't know, I've got the Laine liner nearby. It's published in liner number 3, and absolutely so much fun to knit. I again had a couple of hiccups after the yoke. I noticed, and I do, you know, I'm quite critical of my own knitting. So it is knit quite tight, the yoke. You see it's sort of more squashed than in other people's Treystas, and it gets looser here, obviously, because it's not color work. But my first color work sweater with this yoke, and I'm learning. So there is room for improvement, which is good. I have since actually started on more Lopi knitting, which I guess brings us, if this is the two finished objects of this episode, I should talk about all the knit-alongs, all of them. First of all, in my podcast group, there is actually a Boulogne knit-along. Boulogne is a sweater. Hang on, I'm going to show you the book. The Boulogne sweater is published in Woods, a book by Making Stories. And I have started a knit-along, knitting this sweater, especially because, oh God, where's the pictures here? Because Laine is a really different, the designer of the sweater, and I love her work. I knitted the Volo sweater and hat design by her, and I really want this sweater. This knit-along is currently in my podcast group, but it's got to go on hold, I'm afraid. I wish I could have stuck to the date. Originally it was set out to run until the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, but I realized that's approaching really quickly, and I need to show you my progress to explain why the date will change. This is how far I am. It is less than a month, and I think that's silly. And look at this glorious yarn. So I'm knitting Laine's design, the Boulogne sweater, in Fontifado, which is actually a wool that I found through her and other friends when we were knitting her Volo sweater design, which also has a color work. It's a kid's sweater. And this Fontifado is really, really lovely wool. Maybe even with this curling up, you can see it's super squishy. So this will grow when I wash it. I did take it off the needles to try it on. It is constructed like a raglan construction. I think it will fit. I mean, it's sort of hard to tell with this curling momentum. I can't wait to carry on with this, but I have to wait. And I will explain why. It's Edinburgh, really. I have tickets to go to Edinburgh Yarn Fest, and I realized there are so many projects that I want to knit for Edinburgh that realistically some of my other projects will just have to go on hold. So I need to update you. There is basically now an open end. I will take up the knitting of that sweater very soon after Edinburgh. So that means I will only really carry on knitting properly on it in March, and I apologize for anyone who's been sort of hoping to knit it until mid-February or is disappointed now, sorry. I am, however, making up. I have got a little treat to give away on the 14th of February, so anything or anyone who has contributed to our thread on Ravelry qualifies. So I'll do a random number from the Boulogne Cal thread, and I will find a winner. Which reminds me, the winner of the Yarn Train giveaway in December has been announced in my last podcast, but Knitting Pirate, you haven't got in touch yet, so I don't know your address, and I don't know how to send you your prize, which is the Yarnchix wool calendar. So please get in touch. I think otherwise I'll have to redraw in the next episode. I will put a reminder out. So that was the giveaway, and the Cal announcement. Oh God, it's getting dark. There are actually a couple of other Cals that I have joined that are related to my Edinburgh Yarn Fest crazy knitting. I am basically gonna knit along in the Blacker Pod Cal, and I ordered this deliciously blue Tamer Lasser blend. This is a full ply spun, and it is 100% wool, pure new wool. And I have not just one, but 2 skeins to knit a shawl as part of the Blacker Pot collar. So this goes straight in the yarn shrine and straight on my needles very, very soon. There is one more Blacker, and this is a brush works. That was their 12th birthday anniversary special edition. And it is an alpaca, 20% alpaca, 80% pure new wool, woolen spun birthday brushwork. And I love how it, I don't know, oh God, the camera can pick up some of that. There's some sort of red tweedy moments. Oh, I love it. I thought I'll make a pair of mittens with it, because I assumed my pair of Woodland Tales mittens lost, but alas, I found them yesterday. So now I have a new plan, which is to make a Visser headband, which is basically like a hat without the top bit. And Visser is a design by Nile, who's Appella Knits, and I love her work, so I really want to support her. And this purple, well, I'm trying to put the yarn shrine into the picture a little bit. So this purple will become her headband, together with a shawl design, which I will talk about in the next episode when I've actually cast on. It will be a great set, something nice to wear. Also, Knit Love Wool, who is Jen Steingas, is running the Knit Love Wool Cal. It is a knit along where we knit, or anyone can knit, one of her sweater designs. And as I have finished the Treysta and absolutely love it, and I like exploring new things, new designs, I want to knit her arboreal sweater. And this is my little sort of design helper. I made this drawing to help me realize which colors I want. So I want dark green leaves, and the body will be in the sort of brown, dark grey, brownish grey. Well, a little baby sweater. So that is one thing, though with all the Edinburgh knitting, I won't really have so much time, so I guess it will be more of a sort of make the yoke, be part of this knit along, and yeah, sort of crack on but not finish sort of knitting. I hope people don't mind, but I just love her design and I want to knit one of her yokes. Just want to knit the yoke so bad that I'm gonna just start on it. I've ordered the wool and that should be ready to show next time. I have also joined, or well, I guess you know from the last episode, but I took part in the magic yarn ball swap of that set up by Yarwool Rotterdam, and I got these 2 magic yarn balls from lovely Josh, who is Breiwerken on Instagram, and see, there is still some presents in there. I've had some amazing presents drop out, like, oh, I can't see it now. I thought I'd put it on the desk. She also designed the pattern that I am knitting with this. She designed the pattern especially for the Magic Yarn Ball swap, and for me it's called the contrast cowl, and look at this amazing textured shape. It's super fluffy Romanian mohair, I think it's sort of mohair, and then a Holst garn in this lovely green. I've got to around the halfway point, so I've got to knit just as much, and then I'm gonna sew together both ends, and it'll be a lovely fluffy cowl. Oh god, and I think it would go really well with Treysta, so I can't wait. So there is knit along for all our Magic Yarn Ball swap projects in the Jawohl Rattel group, and they also initiated a knit along for a pattern that I spoke about a lot in episode 12, which was published in the Making Zine lines. I love my Making Zine subscription. I think everything in these publications is always so knit-worthy, make-worthy, and gets me excited. I'm a really happy subscriber. I have been from the start. So I want to knit this Solbein cardigan, especially as I wanted to carry on knitting with Lopi. I asked for this from my mother-in-law for Christmas. She basically took me to Wollen in Friedrichshain and in Berlin, and she asked, so what do you want? I was like, I want Lopi, and she loves the fact that Lopi is such a workhorse. She loves the sweater, and she loves that it is affordable, which I agree. I love that too. So these are the two main colors. See, I've knitted this much. This is the ribbing at the top, because it's a top-down sweater. And now I'm going to start on the color work, and then the body will be mainly this color, and the contrasting stripes will be this blue. So just imagine these are my colors. Glorious Lopi. I'm actually going to change where I sit now. Quick change. Quick. Camera set up differently because the light is going. I've been shitty. I already tried to record on Friday, sorry for my words, and didn't manage. Then yesterday, super busy because I was working. I work at Volvind occasionally, and we had a really lovely knit group visit on a little yarn crawl excursion from Prenzlauer Berg. I don't think they have a name, but it was lovely seeing you all if you watch this. And then I got home a bit later, and my husband dashed off for a video shoot. He makes music videos. He filmed the Making Stories crowdfunding campaign, and I helped on that set, but I couldn't help him on the new set this weekend just because we had to sort out how to look after the kids. So I ended up staying in Berlin, but I didn't end up podcasting, and he's still away, and I'm still not 100% certain this is enough light. But I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna just finish what I've said. The Black Hat Podcast Lounge in Edinburgh has just announced who they're sponsoring, which podcasters will be there, and it's amazing. Mariah will come all the way from America, who is Ninja Chickens, and I entered my yoked Treysta into her colorwork sweater. Color without the U, so American style colorwork sweater Cal. And the Solbein was one of the knits that she had entered, and I really wanted to knit the Solbein, already as soon as I had the Making Zine line. So it was amazing to see how quickly it grew on her needles. I was attempting to knit the Solbein as part of her knit along, which ends at the end of January. I doubt I will manage. Look, this is how far, because I had made a mistake and used the main colour for the colour work already, and I got this far until I noticed, oh my god, I was meant to use the first contrast colour and then the main colour. So I won't be able to finish this for her knit along, I doubt it. But I still want to have it finished for Edinburgh, so I can wear it and just talk about it and, just have the Solbein, because that's, I want the Solbein in my life anyway, not even just for Edinburgh. Then I want to knit, and this is where it goes into acquisitions, because there's quite a few acquisitions in this basket of mine. I won, amazingly, these Hey Mama Wolf Coburger Fuchs skeins, 3 of them, from going to the launch party of Woods Making Stories, and so these 3 will become Loven Home West. I will enter a little clip about that. So the Loven Home West is a really important Edinburgh Yarn Fest knit for me, because I am actually working for Jule. How exciting! So I'm working for Hey Mama Wolf. I've just finished the Siri, so I've got that to wear, but I would really like to have the Loven Home West vest ready to wear as well. And as Jule is sharing her, so that was it from that basket. As Jule is sharing her stand with Christina of Rauwerk Wool. Oh my god, tongue twister day. And she gifted me 3 skeins, Christina, of her amazing Rauwerk wool. And I have cast on. Because I thought, if I work on their stand, I might as well also have a Rauwerk project to wear, and this has been in my pipelines for too long, Mimi. Again, a raglan construction, top down. I've just joined for the round, and I've started in this amazingly crunchy Rauwerk. Let me show you a little close-up of the pattern that I'm doing. Surprise! Yes, I am knitting the Nook. Nook is a pattern by Jonna Hietala. I hope I said your name right, Jonna. Who is half of the amazing Laine team, together with Zine. And I just love this little top. I think it's super achievable. I knit this in a day, so I reckon I will have the Nook ready to wear in Edinburgh when working with Christina and Rauwerk, and well, for Jule, for Hey Mama Wolf's stand there. Oh. So if you're coming to Edinburgh, please do come and say hi. Check out Jule's and Christina's amazing wool. Look, I can even put them both next to each other. Both of these beauties can be found in Edinburgh, and believe you me, their collaboration where Jule plant dyed some of the Rauwerk wool is amazing, and Jule's wool is amazing, and Christina's wool is amazing, so I'm super excited. It's really a great place for me to be, work with them because they're lovely friends as well. So I'm very excited. So I think that's about it also for acquisitions, because I cannot show you the acquisition for my Aberreal sweater. That will be in the next episode. So all I have left to do is the zine review. And as I've been silly and not prepared that bit and brought the zine that I want to talk about it here, I'm gonna quickly go and grab that. Meanwhile, you're gonna get a little glance at this amazing yarn shrine. Let's do it that way. It is a great big mess, and I'm gonna leave it just as it is and just swing the camera around. I'm gonna put the Aberreal upside down because that was lying funnily. I'm gonna just swing the camera around, film it, get the zine, and then we'll see each other again. Hang on just a minute.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.
Oh God, did I record that last bit even? I want to pick a card today. I'm using my Mother Piece set of cards to ask the question, will my podcast, will Yarnchix Podcast grow? That was what I wrote down as a question, mainly because, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about whether I want my podcast to grow, whether I want it to stay small, because I love this sort of family event with my lovely crew of friends. So I wanted to ask, will it grow? To find out if I have to do anything about that. Either to make it grow or to make it stay the way it is, and the light is terrific. I'm super out of focus. I'm gonna be this close to give you a bit of light, and I've just picked with my left hand the moon. The moon card in me. If any of you know my zine, issue number 2, it has a moon illustration in it. If any of you watched my tarot this winter, the moon appears. Moon is the femininity, is accepting the flow, it's creativity, it's the intuitive. I'm gonna just stay the same. I promise. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it. Intuitively feminine, feminist, podcasty. I love the mother piece and these illustrations. Thank you so much for watching. I will be here again soon in my same crazy way, maybe with more light. I have been so happy to have you around. Come again soon. Click subscribe if you want to know when that next time is. Just hop into old episodes or hop in and out of my life as you please. Completely up to you. You're always welcome. See you soon. Bye. This week's zine is by, her name is Jess Walsh, and I bought these 3 different zines that she published. I basically bought her whole collection because I loved them so much. Growing and Scared, Growth, and brain flower. All three have been super helpful. I've learned so much about plants and also psychology and plants through these that I in debt to myself to keep working more with flowers and my garden for my own growth and my own sanity. I do tend to react to my life, react to struggle with quite a bit of fear. And I realized that I can actually help myself be less scared of things and have less dramatic mind films, because I can make some really interesting movies in my head that I am not willing to share with anyone because they're so horrible and terrible and just fear-ridden, and I do want to get rid of fear. Maybe the productive side of fear, the sort of protectiveness that it brings about towards my kids or towards myself, is okay, acceptable. But the shit scared paranoid bit, no, don't need it anymore. And I have come so far in the last 13 years, I pledge to carry on moving away from that and staying on the positive brain movie side. I use a lot of breathing. That's what I've come from. Breathing has been the technique, and now I love that I have brain flower power to conquer these things through finding out from the Zine, and then I guess I will have to just find my right plants. Rose has been great. I did a lot of work with the rose plant in our garden this summer, and I will do next year. I still benefit from all the oils and actually a bit of booze. I made a rose gin with rose petals, blossoms with the stem, and the thorns to give myself both the softness and the understanding, the mildness of the rose flower, and support myself with the fierce prickly sides to conquer my own fears, helping myself. Thank you, Jess Walsh, for this input into that path. Definitely keeping at it. And now from this, also, little secret. Not so secret anymore, but it's not really a secret anymore, but I've also got a Patreon page. And silly me, I never said in the podcast, so I've added this little secret clip at the end to say, come on over. I've made a travel vlog. I've already made a little overview video. I am filming stuff all the time, and a behind the scene podcasting clip, which this time showed my running order and how it came about. I just really like sharing stuff, and this blogging idea wanted to grow elsewhere, and I need more support and I need more financial boost so that I can actually grow towards traveling to more places, writing a book, and just keep on making. And I hope you like what you find when you go over to the Yarnchix Patreon page. This is pure advertising, so I'm really sorry, but I want to share about that. Also, because I think it's an interesting place to learn a bit more about